Start. So we are discussing about the women's movements. Now we will talk about the development and welfare programs happened in the context of India because of the various women's movements. So we have seen All India Women's Conference and other type of women's organizations which relentlessly worked for the development of women. So now we are going to look at the various developmental programs. Developmental programs happened in the context of India. Developmental programs, welfare programs, both. Welfare programs, developmental or welfare programs, both are one and the same. So various developmental and welfare programs have happened so far in the independent India. So we are going to discuss about the independent Indian programs, which actually are very important because questions can be asked from this topic, because women topic is there in the syllabus twice, in the women's movement and also separately women's women's topic. So these particular development programs are, initially the government of India has formed a central social welfare board. So central social welfare board. So central social welfare board is achieving hostels and education for both women and children with socio-economic disabilities, socio-economic issues. So all those women and children who are having socio-economic issues, will be provided with hostel facilities. Specifically, hostel facility is not easily available in the cities, in the urban areas, for women who are working and also for the students who are studying, because of which the girl students will drop out from the schools and colleges, and the women will stop working. Even if they got a work, paid regular work, they will stop the jobs just because they are not having the place to stay in the city. So this central social welfare board actually creates the hostel facilities and also the education, like the primary education for the women and children in the context of India. So the Central Social Welfare Board is a very good and nice organization for creation of hostel for the women and children. So Central Social Welfare Board గురించి కూడా క్వశ్చన్ రావచ్చు. For example, consider the following statements about Central Social Welfare Board. It is for the upliftment of scheduled caste communities, and it provides scholarship and fellowship for the scheduled caste and minorities. ఇట్లా ఇస్తారు. సోషల్ వెల్ఫేర్ బోర్డ్ అనగానే మనం ఇమీడియట్గా ఎస్సీ డెవలప్మెంట్ అనుకుంటాం. సో ఇలాంటి క్వశ్చన్స్ వస్తాయండి ఎగ్జామ్స్లో, దయచేసి అర్థం చేసుకోండి. ఎందుకు ఇది చెప్తున్నామంటే దీంట్లో మీరు పాయింట్ అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి. సో దిస్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ ఈజ్ డూయింగ్ దిస్ పర్టికులర్ యాక్టివిటీ. ఎగ్జామ్లో వచ్చిన తర్వాత అప్పటికప్పుడు గాల్లో నుంచి ఆన్సర్స్ రావు. సో సింప్లీ లిజన్ టు ద organization, what the organization have done, what is the outcome of the organization, and cause for the starting of the various reasons for the starting of that particular organization. So Central Social Welfare Board's primary idea is to create hostel facility and educational facility for women and children only. So that is particular. So schemes lo inta particular చూసుకోవాలి మనం. Schemes lo vague knowledge, general understanding is not welcomed. So specific knowledge, precision, we called it as precision. There is something called precision. Precision అనే పదం ఉంటుంది ఇంగ్లీష్లో. వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. సపోజింగ్లీ a doctor doing operation, a pilot flying an aircraft, these people work on the precision. ప్రిసిషన్ అంటే టు ద పాయింట్. హార్ట్ ఆపరేషన్ చేసిన వాళ్ళు ఎంత ప్రిసైజ్గా ఉంటే చిన్న నర్వ్స్ని కూడా వాళ్ళు దాన్ని ఆపరేట్ చేయగలుగుతారు. సో ప్రిసిషన్ ఈజ్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో ఆల్ దోస్ ప్రొఫెషన్స్ విచ్ వర్క్స్ ఆన్ ద ప్రిసిషన్ ఆర్ వెరీ హై ప్రొఫెషన్స్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, హైయెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్, డాక్టర్స్, high lawyers and highly paid lawyers and the pilots, ఈ సైంటిస్ట్ వీళ్ళంతా హై లెవెల్లో ఉంటారు. సో ప్రిసిషన్ ఈజ్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఈవెన్ టు బికమ్ అన్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ ఆఫీసర్ యూ నీడ్ ప్రిసిషన్. సో tomorrow if you become a group 2 officer, you are going to manage the whole mandal. You are more greater than a doctor because hundreds of lives are depending on you. సో ప్రిసిషన్ ఉండాలి. ఆ ప్రిసిషన్ ఇక్కడనే టెస్ట్ చేస్తారు ఎగ్జామ్లో ఇవన్నీ అడిగేది ఎందుకు, మిమ్మల్ని టెస్ట్ చేయడానికి. సో సింప్లీ you have understood that whenever there is an organization that is discussed, that can come as a question. So Central Social Welfare Board is for the women and children only. That is why we have sparked this debate. So Central Social Welfare Board is for the women and children. Next program is STEP, 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 special training for entrepreneurship. Special training and entrepreneurship program. STEP, special training and entrepreneurship program. So this program gives knowledge on entrepreneurship for women. 1986 this organization started in the year 1986, which gives the training for women on how to become an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur ante enti? To become a business person, to become a business person, entrepreneur. So this particular organization will give training to the women on how to become entrepreneurs. So it is highly recommended to support, encourage the women entrepreneurs in the context of India, wherein women are having very less rights in the economic sphere. So STEP is one such program. Next, third one is family counseling centers. Family counseling centers. Family counseling centers, 1984. So family counseling centers will actually give counseling to the victims of violence, trafficked women, and destitute women, etc. So this family counseling centers are established in the year 1984 to give counseling to the students and to the women who are victims of violence, like domestic violence, women beating houses, and depression, and women who are the victims of trafficked women. They are sexually exploited as sex workers when they are trafficked from various places. So these people will be taken to the family counseling centers, and they will be made normalized after facing that gruesome acts committed on them. So this family counseling centers is one initiative by the government. And fourth one is Mahila Samriddhi Yojana. Mahila Samriddhi Yojana. Mahila Samriddhi Yojana, 1995. So this Mahila Samriddhi Yojana is also looking at, and this Mahila Samriddhi Yojana later on changed its name to Indira Mahila Yojana. So this Yojana is providing support, institutional support to women, on various issues like maternity benefits, education, and small level of loans to the women. So Indira Mahila Yojana or Mahila Samriddhi Yojana, both are same, name changed in 1990, Indira Mahila Yojana, and this is 1993, and name changed in 1995. So Indira Mahila Yojana is for small savings kind of a thing. Next one is Dwakra. Development of women and children in rural areas. Development of women and children in rural areas, DWACRA. So you all know that this DWACRA program, the envisagement of this DWACRA program is collective consciousness. Collective consciousness అనే ఐడియాలజీ మీద ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ స్టార్ట్ అయింది. So the government has understood that there should be some level of collectiveness in various programs on the women. So this DWACRA program has seen the power of unity and made the collectiveness program DWACRA, wherein small savings will be done by the members of that group. Each one will put a small savings in that and they will form a group, self-help groups, SHGs. So this DWACRA program is specifically SHGs, self-help groups, which are very useful for the financial security of rural women. So DWACRA group, the development of women and children in the rural areas. Next one, Indira Gandhi Matritva Sahyog Yojana 2010. So this particular Matritva Sahyog Yojana is for the maternity, pregnant and lactating women, nutrition, etc. Okay. Next, Rajiv Gandhi scheme for self-employment of girls scheme 11 to 18 years. So under the 11 to 18 years, this scheme Rajiv Gandhi scheme for self-empowerment of women. So this scheme also will look after the nutritional needs of girl children from the age group of 11 to 18 years. And government also set up one-stop centers for the safety and security of women. One-stop centers for safety and security of women. One-stop centers. So it is like call center. The number is 181. So 18 number ki call cheste one-stop center. You can call to the police, you can call to the lawyer, you can call for the judicial help, you can call to file an FIR, 0 FIR. So అన్నిటికీ కలిపి ఒకటే కాల్ సెంటర్ నంబర్, వన్ స్టాప్ సెంటర్. 181 is the call center number. So one stop centers is for safety and security of women. And next one is Rashtriya Mahila Corps. Rashtriya Mahila Corps. So Rashtriya Mahila Corps is an organization which is looking also for the safety and security of women. Rashtriya Mahila Corps. And National Mission for empowerment of women 2010. Bharatiya Mahila Bank 2013. And 12th, Ministry of Women and Child Welfare 1985, separate ministry. National Commission for Women 1990. So these are the various policies or schemes done on the development of women. This Rashtriya Mahila Corps is also for the safety and security of women. National Mission for Empowerment of Women looks to provide employment opportunities in the context of women. So National Mission for Empowerment of Women is started in the year 2010 under the UPA-2 regime, and this particular program is aiming at providing employment in the rural areas specifically and also in the urban areas. National Mission for Empowerment, so empowerment through skill development. So this scheme also is very important in the skill development. Later on it is also linked to the recent scheme of national the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. So National Mission for the Empowerment of Women is a flagship program, flagship scheme for the government to increase the empowerment of women. And there was this bank, All Women Bank, which gives loans to the women, which is run by women and which is managed by the women officers, that is Bharatiya Mahila Bank BMB, started in the year 2013. And of course later on, because of various issues, this particular bank is merged with the SBI. So Bharatiya Mahila Bank, the intention of this bank is to promote the entrepreneurship among the women. So entrepreneurship ni women lo పెంపొందించడానికి ఈ యొక్క స్కీమ్ స్టార్ట్ చేయబడింది. సో దిస్ పర్టికులర్ బ్యాంక్ గాట్ merged with the SBI, State Bank of India, later on. And next, Ministry of Women and Child Development was specifically started in the 1985. Before that, there was no separate ministry for the women and child development. It was earlier part of Ministry of Human Resources. So Ministry of Women and Child Development ni separate ga manaki 1985లో క్రియేట్ చేయబడినారు. ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో a step forward for the empowerment of women. ఆ స్టెప్తో కూడా మనకి విమెన్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్ రియలైజ్ అయ్యే అవకాశము వచ్చింది. సపరేట్ మినిస్ట్రీ ఉంటే ఏంటి లాభము? there is a lot of benefit for the women, because women, that ministry will be allocated separate budget, ministry will have a separate minister and ministerial office which will look at the issues of women. So having a separate ministry is any day lot of importance in the situation of women. And next, National Commission for Women. So National Commission for Women is a statutory body which is formed in the 1990 in the lines of National Commission for Scheduled Caste, in the lines of National Commission for Scheduled Tribes, and in the lines of National Commission for Minorities, and in the lines of National Commission for Human Rights, wherein this commission will be having a judicial level of power. There will be one chairman and two vice chairmen and members in that National Commission for Women, which will look into the various aspects, various issues. It will look after the any cases that has happened on the women. It can take a sumoto cases on the issues of women. It can give representation to the various organizations. It can summon the various organizations if at all they have done any issue on the women. So this kind of power will be there vested with the National Commission for Women, which is very important for the development of women in the context of India. So National Commission for Women 1990, Ministry of Women and Child Welfare 1985, Bharatiya Mahila Bank 2013, National Mission for the Empowerment of Women 2010, Rashtriya Mahila Corps for the Safety and Security of Women, one-stop centers for call center and safety and security of women. The number is 181. Rajiv Gandhi Scheme for Self-Employment of Girls Scheme 11 to 18 years. Indira Gandhi Matritva Sahyog Yojana 2010 for the maternity and nutrition of women. Indira Gandhi the Dwakra Scheme, development of women and children in the rural areas, which is a self-help groups scheme. Mahila Samriddhi Yojana 1993, which changed its name to Indira Mahila Yojana, institutional support of women in the year 1995. And Family Counseling Centers 1984, victims of violence, trafficked women and destitute women will be taken care in these family counseling centers. And STEP, special training for entrepreneurship program. So this will support the women to become the entrepreneurs, to become the business persons. STEP. And Central Social Welfare Board, hostels education, hostels specifically for the women and children with socio-economical issues. So these are the various programs done by the government consecutively for years for the development of women in the context of India. Okay. So next is gender budgeting. Gender budgeting. So gender budgeting is a concept which is actually started in the 10th 5-year plan. 10th 5-year plan. In the 10th 5-year plan from the year 2002 to 2007, the idea of gender budgeting was mooted by the 5-year plan. 5-year plans were actually submerged into the Niti Ayog. So 5-year plans is a flagship area of the planning commission. So the development of India right from the independence times has done in the 5-year plans. After 14th 5-year plan, the 11th 5-year plan, the government has stopped the 5-year plans and subsumed all these 5-year plans into the Niti Ayog. So this 2002 to 2007 10th 5-year plan actually mooted the idea of the gender budgeting. So gender budgeting actually is something a postmodern concept of looking at women, looking at women's perspective in the budgets. Supposingly, if at all there is this budget allocating for education, budget allocation for women, budget allocation for education, so they will specifically look at women's education. Women's education. If at all they are for allocating for health ministry ki chestunaru anukondi, separately they will look for women's health. So like that in each department 21 departments government will have to look at the gender specific issues. So if at all the issue is related to women in that particular department, they will try to look at that particular aspect. So gender budgeting means definitely one should look at the issue of women when preparing the budget. So gender budget, for example, green budget is now a new concept. So green budget lo they will look at the environmental cost that will happen if at all the budget allocation is done in a particular way. Here they will see how women will be affected or women will be benefited if at all this budgetary allocation will happen. So gender budgeting is a very unique and very interesting concept, very supportive concept for the development of women. So gender budgeting assumes lot of importance in the context of women's development. So 21 departments in the government will look at the aspects of how should they allocate funds for the development of women in each department. So women, health, education, finance, all these departments will look at the aspects of the women in the gender budgeting. So gender budgeting is also leaps and bounds change in the aspect of women's development. So in the 1960s to 70s, various other programs have happened in the context of India for the women's development. Issue based things are happened on the issue based campaigns. Issue based campaigns were run completely from 1950s to 70s in the context of India. Like All India Women's Conference nunchi start cheste 1950 nunchi chaala manaki organizations work చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళాయి. So 19 issue based campaigns, basically issue based campaigns. What are the issue based campaigns? For example, agricultural problems, agricultural issues or agrarian labor issues or poor peasant issues relating to the wages of labor, relating to the wages of the labor. For example, land to the tillers, దున్నేవాడిదే భూమి, tillers, and movements like Sarvodaya movement, actually these movements are happening for generally for men and women. Sarvodaya movement specifically look at women's issue in that movements. Supposingly wages of labor, so women's labor, land to the tillers, women farmers, poor peasants, women farmers, agrarian issues, agrarian women's issues. So Sarvodaya movement is formulating special issues of women, consideration of special issues of women in the context of various issue based campaigns. And if you see movements like Bhudan movement, literary campaigns to increase the education of women, and against alcoholism, and the organizations like Seva, self-employed women's association, Seva, 1972, started in the Gujarat, has worked for street vendors, hawkers, daily wagers, etc. So like that various women's organizations have fought for, like Seva, various women's organizations have fought for the issue based campaigns. We are talking about issue based campaigns. After the various programs that we have seen so far, in that gender budgeting is one of the important step towards the development of women. Similarly, if you look at the issue based campaigns that have happened in the 50s and 70s, 50s to 70s, in the 2 decades, we have various issue based campaigns like agrarian labor issues, peasant movements that were happened before the independence, also continued after the independence. Various issues of women were raised in the agriculture issues about the poor peasants, the issues of the laborers, the wages, especially wages. And in the Sarvodaya movement has talked about equal pay for equal work, So movements like this, the Sarvodaya movement talked about wages of women specifically, and land to the tillers. Land should be given to the actual person who are cultivating the land. And Bhudan movement also, lot of issue related to the women were raised, because women have very less land holdings in the country of India. Next, literary campaigns, increasing the literacy rate of women. So always there is a sharp divide between the literacy rate of men and literacy rate of women. If at all the literacy rate of men is some 80%, the 75% that we have nearly in India, women's literacy rate will be less than 65. So 10% difference will be always there, and it is more so in the context of backward states, BIMARU states, BIMARU, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh states. So these literacy campaigns have also run in the times of 1950s to 70s as movements. And against alcoholism is also one of the biggest issue. Andhra Pradesh also has seen a movement called Arak movement in the time of NTR as a CM. They have worked for the alcohol ban in Telugu state, that is Andhra Pradesh earlier, and now we are divided into 2 states. So against alcoholism is also a very big campaign in the context of the development of women's movements. And next, SEVA, self-employment. One organization that is important for us is SEVA, Self-Employed Women's Association in the 1972 Gujarat. This organization is working for the daily wages and street vendors, hawkers, for their support, especially women's movement. This SEVA has worked for the development of the daily wages, street vendors, hawkers. So these are the various programs that we have seen right from the independence. Various programs, issues have done contributed to the development of women, especially the literacy rate. For example, because of the various literacy campaigns, the earlier women literacy rate were less than 15%, now more than 50% in every state. So various campaigns have led to the development of women in the various arenas. For example, STEP program has given the entrepreneurship training. Dwakra program, now the self-help groups are thriving in the rural India. So the economic capacity of women increased because of initiative of Dwakra self-help groups. The loans for various women in the priority sector lending of banks like Bharatiya Mahila Bank. So all these steps consecutively, one by one, has led to the development of women slowly. So the development story of women from the time of independence to the current times have seen various leaps and bounds. And here we are not discussing about the specific schemes of women, but only seeing the women's movements and their outcomes. So Sarvodaya movement, the Seva movement, how various acts have actually formulated because of the works done by this particular movement is our issue today. So women's movement has seen from the beginning, from 1925 when Sarojini Naidu became the INC president. So from that time, various right from Jhansi Lakshmibai's time to today, until the gender budgeting times in 2007. So various steps is being taken, bigger steps is taken in towards the development of women empowerment, and in that women's movement's role is very high regard. The high regards is given to the women's movements. So like Seva and Sarvodaya movement. We will see few more movements in the next video.